In today's video, I want to talk about two really major blocks that can get in the way of our success. And these two blocks are this. The first one is the idea that I need to work really hard. That's number one. The second one is somewhat related to that, but that's the idea that I just need to keep doing this again and again and again. Okay, so let me break those two down, because if you can remove those two blocks, you will find that success is a very natural thing that will happen. So this idea, the first one, I have to work really hard. And you'll often hear people saying things like, well, look, I put in so much effort and I have nothing to show for everything I've done, and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. The idea that trying and pushing and working hard, putting in effort, is the thing that should lead us to success. There's this expectation. But I want you to think about this. Imagine I asked you, you found yourself put into a strange town and somebody said to you, find a shop that sells tulips, right? And you have no mobile phone and you can't speak the language. You might find yourself walking around from place to place, searching and never finding this place. And you're putting in a lot of effort. Thankfully, in our own life, we don't have to be in that position where we have no sense of guidance or we have no strategy involved. There are ways that we can go after our goals that are attuned to an intelligence, an intuitive intelligence, as well as a more typical type of intelligence that we all draw on. Think of also the mother who finds out that there's something, their child is missing, some horrible thing like that. What she might do in that situation, which is very understandable, is to jump into action and want to do something and drive around the neighborhood. And other people might be telling her, the best thing you can do is sit at home and wait. Other people are out looking, doing things. You should be here at the phone. And for her, rationally speaking, that makes sense. But there's just this ingrained sense, a nervous system signal, really. Do something, do more. This is how we approach our goals typically. We look at, I'm not doing enough, I need to be doing more, I have to work hard, I have to work. And the issue is you might work really, really hard and end up not getting there. Because you're not really sure where you're going, you're not really sure of what your strategy is. And that takes slowing down, reflecting, really attuning to, where am I going? Am I on track here with this? Be good to get some directions. So the idea of working hard is kind of a myth. Now there will be action involved, but let's say you're in that town and you're looking for the tulips. If you have a strategy, if you know where you're going, you'll still have to walk there or drive there or whatever, but you'll do it once and it'll be quite easy, much less frustrating. So hard work in and of itself is massively overrated. The other one that I just need to keep doing this again and again is similar, because that can be a thing where we have this idea that I'm just going to do this. And actually, what if that's not the right strategy? Sometimes we get feedback from ourselves in reflection, or we pick up information along the way, and it requires an adjustment. So this idea of doing the same thing over and over again, like a really good example is music. A person might pick up an instrument every day and just keep playing the same thing. They've played again and again and think that eventually I'll just get better somehow. When really that's not true. Now it has a ring of truth to it, because consistency is important, but consistency informed by what you find by going into reflection, to sort of think back and look at what's happening and what's my strategy here. That's really what leads to success in the long run. So it's not about doing the same thing over and over again. It's really about being consistent in doing that, checking back in, that feedback loop. That's what we're consistent in, and that leads to the action that we want, that will lead us to the success. So keep those two things in mind, right? I have to work hard. Change that one. I have to work smart. I have to do less, but do it more informed, maybe. I have to do less. I can do little bits, little things, if they're informed, if they're based on thought and you're mindful with them and you're strategic with them. Those are the things that make the biggest impacts. And you don't need to do the same thing over and over again rigidly. You can vary things mindfully, deliberately, through reflection. So get rid of the idea that working hard in and of itself is going to be the thing that brings you to success, because that can lead to a lot of frustration and that can lead to a lot of resentment when we actually find out down the line, this doesn't work. I was told that I just needed to work hard, and that's not true. So those are two things. Again, it's not really so much about finding out what it is you need to do to be successful. It's much more about like looking at the blocks you have towards your own success and saying, does this work? Does this serve me? Okay, because this hasn't been working for me. And it's about debunking it, putting it down. And you'll find then, very naturally, you'll find motivation comes and you'll find that success comes in time. Hope that's useful. If you have any feedback, leave it below. And if you want to contact me for one-to-one sessions, you can do so. There's a link below. And you can check out my books and my courses at my website. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.